Hey guys, in this video we're going to go over playing B on Dust2 from a match between FaZe and G2, so let's get started. So first I want to talk about just simply crossing mid. So what we're going to see from G2 here is they're going to throw a smoke mid, and notice how they actually wait for the smoke to pop before crossing. We're going to see the same thing from FaZe here, so Cold and Brokey, they wait for the smoke to pop before crossing. And another example again from G2, waiting for the smoke to pop before crossing. So the one thing about waiting for the smoke to pop before crossing is that it denies any information from the terrace. So they don't know if there's going to be 2 or 3 that are being crossing towards B. Teams commonly before used to nade the doors and then cross. However, it doesn't offer the same flexibility that the smoke does, in the sense that after you cross, you won't be able to cross back. So with the smoke, you are able to cross back without giving information to the terrace. So that's the one thing about using a smoke versus the nade. So here, as they approach the site, we're going to see that Amnak, he's going to throw a Molotov first. He's the first spawn. The second spawn will usually always nade. We're going to see the same thing here from FaZe as well. Cold here is the first spawn, so he's going to Molotov, and Brokey's the second spawn, so he's going to nade. We're going to see a slight variation here, where once again the first spawn will Molotov, but what we're going to see is a double nade from the 2 CTs. In this particular round, they're going to wait for a specific time here. They're going to wait till 1:39. And then they're going to nade. So these 2 nades are more designed for a terrace who might be defaulting to do damage to them. Whereas this here we're going to see from G2, they're going to nade right away. So this is basically to do damage to a rush. So that's the difference between timing the double nades a little bit differently. Here we're going to see that Cold, he's going to be playing solo towards B. And notice how he uses the smoke here. So the power of using a smoke when you're solo is, for the first thing is that when T see the smoke, they're not necessarily going to want to push. And notice how Cold here is actually playing up close to the smoke, so if they do push, he has a huge advantage over them. We're going to see something similar from Brokey as well. He's going to toss the smoke down and then play up close to the smoke. So this is different than using the Molotovs. The Molotovs are more so to kind of do damage, but the smoke here is to kind of just prevent the T's from really wanting to push through, and if they do, the CT on the other hand has a huge advantage in holding the smoke. So what we're going to see here is a hold between Cold Zero and Brokey. So the T's are going to come flooding out of the tunnels. Brokey's going to play towards closet, and Cold behind the big box. So Brokey's going to take first contact, and then he gets that kill. Cold's going to get a kill and a second one as well. And notice the one thing I want to point out here is that Cold, with low HP here, he wants to kind of stay alive as much as possible. He's not taking the fight immediately. He's just waiting, and then he finally gets taken down. So in this round, another example. So what we're going to see is that Cold's going to take one player down. And the one thing about Brokey playing this spot here is that he can't really get blinded from anything. So playing all the way up close in front of the smoke gives him a very favorable fight here. Unfortunately, he only gets a dink. And right here in this round, we're going to see that Cold's he's going to play the same spot. However, he's getting support from his teammates with flashes. So in this round, he's going to play a bit more aggressively with those flashes to be able to get those kills. So here we're going to see that Rain in this situation, tossing flashes behind Cold Zero so that he doesn't have to turn. And same thing with Olafmeister, throwing flashes behind Cold Zero so he doesn't have to turn and he's able to fight. So here's an interesting setup from FaZe. So we're going to see the double closet setup. So essentially what's going to happen here is that Brokey's going to take first contact here, and then Cold Zero is going to hide in the closet. So as G2 make it towards the site, we're going to see that Brokey is going to take contact on Amnak. He gets taken down, and after he gets taken down, you can see that the terrace are expecting that the second player is in the site somewhere. They're not expecting that Cold's also going to be in closet as well, and with this he's able to catch them off guard and get an easy 2k here. So that's the one thing, is that if you kind of both play the same spot at closet here, as soon as they kill the closet guy, they're expecting that the second player will be towards site, and that's why Cold Zero is able to catch them off guard. So in this round, we're going to see slight aggression. So Nexa and Amanak, what they're going to do is they're basically going to flash the tunnels first and then double peek. And then Nexa is going to toss a Molotov on the right side to be able to flush out anybody who might be hiding there. Notice how they're both holding the angle. So at the very minimum, even if somebody's here, they're at least going to get a trade by them both peeking at the same time. So right here is going to be another example of some aggression without the Molotov on the right side though. So here, once again, they double peek. And then we're going to see that Cold Zero is going to peek out kind of wide to be able to hold the left side, while Brokey is going to walk up the left side to get up close towards the tunnels and then be able to push it. So right here, another example where early round aggression, where we can see Hunter and Nexa, they're going to kind of creep up towards the left side of the tunnels to be able to take down Olafmeister. And this is generally something you might want to do more when you know that the T's are probably going to default to be able to get this first kill. So here's another example where it's more of a mid-round tunnel push. And we're going to see that between Nexa and Amnak, they're just going to silently clear everything out. So you're going to see that Nexa, he's holding towards the left, Amnak holding towards the right. And the one thing to note here is that when they're clearing these angles, be mindful of everything that they clear. So they're being very thorough and methodical and making sure that they clear every possible angle that the terrorist might be at. Here in this round, we're going to talk about fighting towards mid. So we're going to see that Nexa is going to be playing towards the window and Amnak is going to be playing towards the site. He has a flash ready. He's going to toss a flash over and Nexa is going to toss another one as well. And they're both going to fight mid together here. So this is something that you can do even against weapons. In this round, they were against pistols, but even against weapons, as long as you have both your teammates kind of fight outside mid together, you can be able to focus all your efforts on middle or towards B. Here's another example where instead of fighting towards the ramp, you can fight just outside the doors. So Brokey's going to throw a flash for Coldzera. Coldzera is going to peek it here. And he's able to get 2 kills. And the one key thing here about the B players is that they generally want to play together. So here we're going to see that Amnak and Nexa, they're basically playing outside the tunnels, or in the site rather. And they're focusing on the tunnels. And as soon as Nexa starts moving out towards mid, Amnak is basically going to follow. So they want to play together as much as possible. So here they want to focus all their efforts on mid. Earlier they're focusing all their efforts on the B tons. And here, as we see, after they see that nothing's happening towards mid, they're going to go back towards B and then focus their efforts there. So that's the one thing to kind of note, is that you always want to play together. So whether this is the best tactic against any kind of B split, if they're coming up mid and B at the same time, you either both fight towards tunnels or you both fight towards mid. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys liked what you saw, please drop a like and feel free to subscribe if you want to see more of this content. Thanks again. I'll see you guys in the next one.